design consultant at the SR Gopal Rao Opticians team. I'm currently spearheading a lot of their upcycling and sustainability initiatives. Here I have with me Jagruti, who is the designer and owner of Kevali Designs. So Jagruti, it's a pleasure to have you with us today. I'd like to start off by asking you to tell us a little bit about Kevali Designs and the work that you do, as well as the work that you have done with us as SR Gopal Rao and any other businesses you've worked with in the past.
Sure. So Kevali Designs was founded in 2019. We work with women artisans all over the villages of India, and we bring that beautiful work to the urban sectors, and primarily we make handbags. So turning trash into treasure is something that gives me immense satisfaction as a designer. And previously, I have worked with other designers in homeware decor projects, and we have used waste glass to make decorative objects, waste textiles to make cushions and bed linen out of that. So, and it's the the products have come out really beautiful, and that's what gives me so much of happiness. With SR Gopal Rao, we are working to convert old discarded spectacle cases into brand new usable cases again using discarded denim. So we are really trying to close the loop here.
So with SR Gopal Rao being an old firm with new fresh ideas, what has been your experience working with a company like this? We're trying to make active steps to be better, to be greener, and we'd like to know your thoughts on what's been working with us.
So SR Gopal Rao is one of those businesses that will stay relevant. It has been around for the last 100 years and will continue to, because it is constantly striving to be better and changing for the better. And I think it is really brave and challenging what the entire company has taken on, not only with the cases where I'm involved, but in every aspect of their business. They have had a good hard look, and they're trying to incorporate, processes that are more greener, more conscious, and that's just great. That's, I think that as a customer as well, that is what I am looking for.
Okay, that's great. I think you've actually encompassed exactly what we're trying to do in the right words. I think it's also important for us to understand, as somebody who's running a brand, right? It's important for you to find that balance between keeping something environmentally sound but also visually appealing and attractive to an audience. Is that often a challenge, and how do you navigate that as a brand?
Priya, actually, as a brand, I have to not only keep the attractiveness of my product, but also the usefulness of it, the price point, because obviously that is a big factor. And as a conscious, sustainable brand ourselves, we are always striving to go the extra mile in that way. So all of these things combined actually make a product or a collection successful for brands like me, and it is a challenge. It's a challenge balancing all of these, as I'm sure even you have started to realize as you're working here.
Yeah, and I think
For
through our
sure.
collaboration with you, we've actually found that it's possible.
It is.
Possible to
It
make a
is.
product sustainable, environmentally friendly, conscious, and also make it attractive. And I think you've done a lovely job in
Yes.
executing that for us.
And getting it to the right price point, that sweet spot.
Yeah, exactly. When you are happy, and so happy, and so are our customers at the end of the day. So yeah. Let's try and get into the challenges faced in terms of the material and working with the products that we had sent you. Of course, working with discarded materials and used products is never easy. There's always the ups and downs of that. So if you could tell us a little bit about the challenges you faced working with the material that we sent over, and yeah.
Oh, there were challenges. I think it's been a 6 month journey now, and it will still go on, I'm sure. We did a lot of brainstorming. We came up with many different materials that we tried working with. Um, of course, any product that is being made has to have a utility and a practical aspect to it also. And with the brief that was given to me by Meghna, part of the team at SR Gopal Rao, was that the cases, for example, they have to be hard. But then almost all of the spectacle cases today in the world have a plastic base or an acrylic base, and to work without that was again a big challenge. And then there were some materials that look environment friendly, but actually they are not. Materials like cork, which are imported all the way from Europe. The material itself is fantastic and it is environment friendly, but then the the cost the cost to the environment of importing it to India. So we went into those minute details as well. So it's truly been a challenging but satisfying journey.
Yeah, definitely. I do feel like looking at sustainability from a holistic angle has been the core of this project. And having you on board to help us navigate that has been so helpful, honestly.
Yes, so for me, the answer to making a product both environmentally friendly and visually attractive has been to work with traditional Indian weavers. So, with that came my answer as to how to balance both of these things.
I think the next question I'd like to ask you is, how much potential do you see in using discarded eyewear or accessories, for example, in art and other recyclable mediums? Do you see potential for eyewear discards in that segment?
For me, art is anything that makes you think or feel deeply about what is being shown there. Um, any material or medium has immense potential in doing that, including, of course, eyewear discards. Um, but when you use an upcycled material and convert it into art, I think that itself tells its own story.
So, Jagruti, earlier you spoke a little bit about turning trash into treasure, and I wanted to go a little bit deeper into that. Tell us a little bit about the other materials that you've worked with, because it must be quite intriguing to have the opportunity to work on such diverse projects and things like that. So, tell us a little bit more about your experience.
Sure. So I have worked in the past with upcycled denim as well. We worked with home decor projects. We have made these really unique belts out of it. We have worked with office objects like iPad sleeves and folders. Kevali, as you know, is a brand that primarily works with accessories. So, working with denim is something that I have done before. We are also now in the process of working with discarded tire tubes that actually fill up our landfills. And I have worked with discarded and rejected textiles as well and turn them into beautiful accessories. So it gives me a whole different level of pleasure to really use something which other people don't find beautiful, and then you bring out the beauty inherent in that object as well. And I'd like to add that this quality was I got this from my mama. This quality was passed down from me because growing up, I have watched her, keep things that other people would throw away. And then she had this immense respect for materials, and she would always say, nahi, iska bhi kuch kaam hai. So there's use for this also, there's value in this also. And then I would see her turn um, things like, discarded bottles into beautiful objects that, people would then very happily take back. So even while we were working on our project and we've talked about the challenges that we face, I did not give up because I knew that somewhere there would be an answer, and we, in our multiple conversations, we, somehow came to came to a solution that worked. So that is that's what I believe.
Thank you so much for sharing with us your inspiration behind starting Kevali, and I think it aligns very well with our goals of finding value in everyday things. And that's why we came to you, right? We started this whole project with the brief that we want a hard case, we want something that's protective, that's functional. But I think the overarching goal was to build something that's sustainable in every aspect, like we discussed, in a holistic manner. And just tell us a little bit about your journey with us from start to finish and how that's gone about.
So yes, of course, the idea was to come up with sustainable and environment friendly eyewear cases that people can use for a long time. But the thing with eyewear products is that they're quite delicate. So while we were working to come up with a new material and a new case to use at SR Gopal Rao, we constantly came up with this one challenge that we had to use sustainable materials, but then the cases themselves had to be hard. Now, everywhere we looked, hard cases are made out of acrylic sheets, which of course is not a very environmentally friendly material. So it doesn't really make sense to take an acrylic hardcover case and then just cover it with like a sustainable material and then go out there and say that we have created a sustainable product, and that is not what any of us wanted to do. So we were constantly coming up with this one barrier, so to say, and at the same time Meghna was working with this whole lot of old cases that she had, and she wanted to use that in some way, and she didn't want to just have it discarded. So during our endless discussions with the three of us, I started looking into how to you know um, use these cases. I mean, here we had all the hard cases that we needed, so I started thinking about what do we exactly uh, do with these, and Meghna sent over a whole batch, and so I just one day I think I just stripped away all like the old, the PU leather that was just peeling off from these, and inside there were these perfectly usable steel and acrylic cases. And having worked with upcycled materials before, I started thinking about how to give this a new look, and since I have worked with discarded denim, and it's a beautiful material, it only looks all the more classier for the wear. It's quite sturdy. It started kind of ticking all the boxes, and so I made a prototype using the old cases and the old denim that was there, and actually the product was really beautiful. I was surprised myself, and I think you guys were super happy with the look. And from there, it was just a matter of getting the right finishing, um, working on the price points, which I've always said that it has to be maintained. And I think what we have now is a beautiful product because it uses upcycled cases with upcycled denim materials, and putting the two together we have reduced a lot of waste from filling our landfills, and we've come up with something that the customers can be really happy with and use for many more years. So I think all's well that ends well, right?
No, absolutely. I think we couldn't be happier with the outcome and the fact that it started in one place and through our journey it pivoted, but it's still, despite all the ups and downs, it still kind of met our initial goal and we found a way to hit two birds with one stone. With the the recycled denim and the used cases themselves, I think we've come up with a wonderful product that is going to be loved by all of our customers for for years to come. Let's hope. And yeah, this collaboration has been a wonderful effort from both our ends.
It was truly satisfying to work with this.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jagruti, for taking the time out to speak to us today. It has been an absolute pleasure to work with you and to speak with you today. And as a team, I think we look forward to multiple projects and just working with you in the future once again.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure. Not only this interview, but working with the entire SR Gopal Rao team. I really look forward to more initiatives.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.